Hello guys, welcome to the first subscriber only stream of my channel. ഞാൻ ഇതുവരെയായിട്ടൊരു സബ്സ്ക്രൈബർ ഓൺലി സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഇത് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബർ ഓൺലി സ്ട്രീം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സിന് മാത്രം ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സ്ട്രീം, എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്ന പോലെ നമ്മുടെ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സിനൊക്കെ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ പോയിണ്ടാവും, ആർക്കും വേണമെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റർ ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. ഇന്നത്തെ ഞാൻ ഈ ഏർലി മോർണിംഗ് സ്ട്രീം ഇടാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, ഞാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് ഉറങ്ങാൻ കിടന്നപ്പോൾ ടി വി ഒന്ന് ഓണാക്കിയായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ മോഡിയുടെ അനൗൺസ്മെൻറ്റ് കേട്ടു. ആള് ബേസിക്കലി നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻ ആർമി, നേവി ആൻഡ് എയർഫോഴ്സിനെ കൺഗ്രാജുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനും പിന്നെ പാകിസ്ഥാന് ഒരു താക്കീത് കൊടുക്കാനാണ് ആൾ അനൗൺസ്മെൻ്റ് ഇട്ടു. ഈ അനൗൺസ്മെൻ്റ് ഇട്ടത് ബേസിക്കലി നമുക്ക് ഒരു ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ, ന്യൂസ്, സമാധാനത്തിൻ്റെ ന്യൂസ് തരാനും പിന്നെ പുറം രാജ്യങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് അറിയാനും ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ വേൾഡ് റിയാക്ട്സ് ഇന്ത്യ ടാക്സ് ടെററിക്സ്, ഇതൊരു ഇന്ത്യൻ ചാനലായതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എടുക്കണില്ല. ഞാൻ ബേസിക്കലി അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനൽസാണ് എടുക്കാൻ പോണത്. അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനൽസ് ഇതിനോട് എങ്ങനെ റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്തു, അമേരിക്കയിലെ കുറച്ച് യൂട്യൂബേഴ്സിന് എനിക്കറിയാം പേഴ്സണലി, അവരെങ്ങനെ റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്തു എന്നുള്ള ഒരു സ്ട്രീമാണിന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് എൻ്റെ യൂട്യൂബ്. ഇതിൽ പലതരം കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ഇതാണ് നമ്മുടെ പ്രൈം മിനിസ്റ്റർ മോദി ചെയ്ത അനൗൺസ്മെൻറ്റ്. പക്ഷെ ഞാനത് വയ്ക്കുന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ ഇതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ അമേരിക്കൻ POV ആണ് നോക്കുന്നത്. എൻ്റെ അമ്മയും കുറേ പേര് ഫോളോ ചെയ്യണൊരു ബിഷപ്പാണ്, ബിഷപ്പ് മാരി. ആളുടെ ഒരു ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ എന്ന നിലയിലും ഇയാളുടെ വ്യൂസിൽ നിന്ന് തുടങ്ങാം, എന്നിട്ട് പോവാം നമുക്ക് അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനലിലേക്ക്. Sorry for the ads. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്, ജസ്റ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ വരാവേ. This is my YouTube studio right now. 1 views. Have you? ആരാണോ? ഒരാൾ വ്യൂ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Who is the viewer? ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് പ്ലീസ്. ഒരു വ്യൂവർ ഉണ്ട് നമുക്ക്, അപ്പോൾ 0 വ്യൂവേഴ്സ്. ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ വരാം. ഓക്കെ, ഐ എം ബാക്ക്. എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ സ്ട്രീം ഒന്ന് എൻ്റെ ടി വിയിലേക്ക് കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണമായിരുന്നു. ജസ്റ്റ് അതിൻ്റെ ലേറ്റൻസി നോക്കാനാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ലെറ്റ്സ് ഹെഡ് ബാക്ക്. യെസ്, ഈ കൺകറൻറ്റ് വ്യൂവർ ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാനാണ്. അത് 2 ആക്കാനാണ് നോക്കേണ്ടത് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, Okay, just pause for a minute. My headphones got disconnected. Let me reconnect them. കുറച്ച് വിനിക്കുക. I'm here. We are not seeing that anymore because of some copyright issues that are arising now. So we'll go straight to the American channels. I started the stream as news, politics and news. So this is not politics, so I may get a copyright strike from the Bishop's channel. So I'm stopping that, and we'll go to the main topic, that is the Pakistan war is ended by India at the moment. There was an announcement by Modi. He did it not so long ago, and there are to be some reactions around the world. So let's search then. The first I would like to search one of the channels I do. Okay, we're gonna search in American channels. We'll start from the basics. CNN live. CNN is American, right? Sorry, it's a BBC. Sorry. Hi. I'm gonna get the BBC. America Live. Sorry for the ad. Uh, as far we Indians know, that's not true. Us Indians have agreed to a ceasefire. We are uh, been suggesting a ceasefire since the beginning. It's the Pakistanis are who are uplifting the conflict. Uh, we can see the rest of the news, rest of the article. Okay. Yes. What is a countermeasure? Protecting our borders. That is a countermeasure. So why does Pakistan fear that? Are they? I'm not accusing the Pakistan government of anything. I'm just pointing out about the jihadi groups and the terrorist organizations who are behind this, who, according to some intelligent information, they Pakistan's government secretly funds the terrorist organizations. That's common knowledge among all these countries. First of all, Pakistan is a place where it's known for its terrorism. Yeah, all the major terrorist groups have been born in Pakistan, developed in Pakistan, and all the the OG terrorist group and OG terrorist is Bin Laden. Osama bin Laden. He was sheltered in Pakistan. Yeah. So Pakistan is known for sheltering the terrorist of their country, because do you know how I have proof of this? I'll show you in the next video. Oh shit. Yes, they did. Actually, America is funding both India and Pakistan. America funds a group called, what is it called? It's called a group. I'll show you one video. They fund the American government funds a group. It's a company which that finances for the weapons. These finances are going to Pakistan. This finance goes to Pakistan. So Pakistan uses finances and collaborates with China to buy their weapons. So their weapons are bought from China with the help of America. If I'm saying this with assurance because of the next video of a creator I know and hold dear to my heart, as a creator who sees things as it is and asks questions for it. This was 2 days ago. 2 days ago means 2 days ago is on 10th May. Today is 13th May. Actually 3 days ago for us. Trump has just agreed that he is a hero and he executed a ceasefire. He just agreed and he declared. That's the problem with the Trump. He has an overinflated ego, but that misfires sometimes. it definitely doesn't misfire now, because India has a good relationship with America and Russia and several other countries who are supporting us in this on this conflict, who clearly know what happened and know who is behind and who started it. So enough of this BBC. BBC is not giving any definitive news, only Trump's yappings and all. We'll go to the creator I was telling you about. Some of you may have know, some of you may know him, Asmund Gold. Asmund Gold is a creator from Twitch streamer from America. He does this controversial streams and he's a gamer. He's a streamer from America, Twitch streamer. He does this controversial streams as well as gaming streams. So let's see some of his videos. I want to show you a specific video because I'm in his Discord server, as I'm a member in his Discord server, and I asked him about his opinion on this video right here. I shared this the video about Shashi Tharoor's video and he reacted to it. So let's react to his reaction. As his subscribers only reaction, but also if he gives me a copyright, I may have to take down this video. But as the person who suggested him this video, I asked him if he find this stream in his copyright informations, please let him know that I was the creator who shared this video to him, his Discord server, and I would like to react to his reaction. So I'm going to react. As you know, from the red line, you may see that I have already reacted to it. That's the way he reacted to it made me create an immediate live. Yes, it is. Bingo. Yes. just came to know that we don't have any audio, so I'm gonna fix that in a while. No, I'm gonna fix that now. Okay, YouTube audio and sources. The other viewer who's probably chat. Sorry. There's no audio, right? Viewer. There are two viewers right now. The first viewer is me from another device, my TV. So can the other viewer please identify themselves? Comment please. Okay, I know where I went wrong. YouTube. So there is a YouTube capture. So sorry. Uh, there's a slight problem with the stream, so uh, uh, I'll be fixing it in this now. So the stream is taking a break. stream good warning. The stream bitrate is too lower than recommended bitrate. We recommend that you this audio stream is lower than the bitrate when you stream. Okay, I have to change the bitrate. So bitrate, stream bitrate, stream bitrate settings. So settings bitrate streaming stream multi-streaming output recording the streaming bitrate. What is the recommended bitrate? 6800. 6800. Recording recording audio bitrate is set at output mode advanced. Audio sample rate is set as 44.1 megahertz. Recommended audio is 128 kilobeats per second. So kilohertz, 48 kilohertz, stereo, mono, stereo.
Has absolutely refused to use nuclear weapons first.
And they have said this, by the way. Like, I've seen them say this twice.
So, I mean, there is no equivalence. There is no comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where do you see this heading to?
100% on India's side. Yeah, I mean, I like, personally, from everything that I've seen, it seems like Pakistan are liars and India are the ones. And it seems like Pakistan is sheltering and supporting terrorist groups that work in ways that the official military can't work. And I think that that explains why the military is sympathetic to them going to their funerals. That's the reason why. Like, I mean, so of course you think that? Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. Like, and also, by the way, I have this policy. This is just something that I've learned, like, over the years, is that when somebody lies once, you shouldn't trust anything they say. And if you're already lying about, like, what you're like, you know, like planes that you're shooting down, if you're lying and putting up video game footage as, like, evidence of war, like this kind of stuff, like what is this, right? I'm going to immediately not trust you. Like, yeah, dishonest Abe. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, once a cheater, always a cheater. Exactly. So never trust Trump? What does Trump have to do with it? We're not talking about Trump. Who's talking about Trump? Nobody's talking about Trump. What do you mean?
Your predictions, Dr. Thoreau?
Well, I'd like to predict that at some point,
TDS,
people in
yeah.
other capitals will tell Pakistan, you fired enough shells, you've killed enough Indians, your honor is satisfied, lay off. And
Yeah.
if capitals don't say that to Pakistan,
Mhm.
and they don't say it firmly enough, and I mean particularly Beijing, then indeed all bets are off, and you might well see Pakistan being tempted to escalate for very short-term military reasons in their country. I certainly hope it doesn't come to that, because in the long term, there's no way they can gain from such a conflict. They've already earned the opprobrium of the world as a terror-providing nation, as the hosts of Osama bin Laden, as the people who spawned the Taliban, and having as...
Pakistan has never had a prime minister who completed their full term. What happened to him? No, that's bullshit. There's no way I would believe that. What? No, Pakistan has never had a prime minister who completed a full 5-year term in office since independence in 1940. What? This is the closest? Bro, can you imagine how stressed out you'd have to be? Like being the Pakistani prime minister, you're like, fuck. Oh no! Yeah, bro, I'd be so stressed out. Oh god, it's a shelf life. Yeah, oh my god. Military influence, constitutional powers, political instability. No Pakistani prime minister has completed a full 5-year term. Oh my god. Wow.
Hillary Clinton evocatively said, having nurtured vipers in their backyard, they've been bitten by the same vipers they've nurtured. And this is a country that really, really needs all the goodwill it can get from the rest of the world. And for that reason, what Pakistan needs to do right now is to stop its military provocations, do not embark on any further misadventures, and let this thing die down. India certainly does not want to prolong it.
And just lastly, I mean, would you say in India there's unanimity on this issue right across the political spectrum? Do all Indians sing from the same song sheet here?
Very, very strongly so. And in fact, India, I mean, I speak for an opposition party, and the opposition party, the Congress party, was the first to stand up and say we stand with the government and behind our armed forces in this
That's pretty meaningful.
particular moment of national crisis. We do have domestic political differences. Those will be addressed when the crisis is over.
Yeah.
Right now, we are all united, and I see very, very little dissent. Of course, there are people who prefer peace to war. So does any sensible human being on the planet. But when war is thrust upon us, it would only be a coward who refuses to fight back. And we will fight back if it's thrust upon us.
Man. Man, that's a lot. Yeah, it makes sense. Yes, bro, this guy is a G. Holy shit. This was an excerpt from a bigger video. I'm going to link you guys the full video if you want to watch it. But there it is right there. Yeah, bro, like that's some fucking, that's some movie dialogue. God damn. And who is the guy that that this was? Doctor, I'm going to totally fuck this up. Sashi Theodore? I don't know how to fucking say any of these names. But yes, something like that. Dr. Sashi Theodore. That's his name. And yeah, apparently he said it fucking straight. And coolest man, yeah, coolest man alive. Yeah, I that was really good, man. That was really good. I didn't expect that at all. And a lot of more warmongers here cheering the way to nuclear annihilation. I don't think that anybody's cheering that at all. I think that there's a lot of people that they see this happening and they're like, I think the people that are creating the people that are creating the pathway to nuclear annihilation are these terrorist insurgency groups that are seemingly being allowed to exist by the Pakistani military. They're the ones that are making this happen more than anything.
I used to think AI in the terminal was kind of meaningless. Boy, was I wrong. When does my wildcard cert TLS certificate expire? Watch this. So the AI went and got my certificate and realized, hey, it's in a different namespace. It did a kubectl get certificates, all namespaces. Found out it was in the traffic namespace. But often you have more complex commands that you have to really research and piece together. Generate a command to identify all pods running as root across all namespaces. Based on the security context analysis, here are the pods that are potentially running as root. So that command, like I said, would take me a while to look up. It's better in this scenario just to prompt in plain English.
An assessment of the situation is still on. Like I said, this is a developing situation. 8 projectiles, mostly surface-to-surface missiles, have been shot down by India's air defense mechanisms. This is the update that we have for you from Jammu. Pakistan striking
So
civilian
nobody even got
facilities
killed.
yet again in India.
It was all for nothing. Wow. Yeah. What a waste of money. Yeah, for what? Took them down at 100% rate? Yeah. 16 killed on the borderline? Well, no, I'm saying about this area. God damn.
Jammu and parts of Rajasthan, as you can see. The emergency response system is on. Civilian
I would
airports
bet.
in a lot of these places have not been operational as a
Islamabad
precaution.
targets Jammu airport? So they're trying to bomb a
And
civilian
air raid
airport?
sirens being heard across Jammu and parts of Srinagar as well.
That's
We're waiting for
interesting.
more updates to come in. These are pictures that we have from Jaisalmer in Rajasthan.
Funniest
again,
thing is
very
probably
close to the border
all our
with
tax
Pakistan.
money. It's actually China's tax money. Yeah, China has to pay for this one.
From the looks of it,
This isn't
this
as
is
much of
going
our problem.
to escalate.
And our money. Oh, yeah, a little bit, right?
8 missiles from Pakistan directed
They're targeting
At
civilians?
Satwari,
Well, that's what
Samba,
terrorists
Arispura,
do.
and Ernia, all intercepted
It would make
and
sense.
blocked by air defense units. And these images are eerily similar
Pakistan's attacking civilian
to
spaces.
the Hamas-style attacks on Israel. These are pictures from Akhnur, which also has
Hamas.
a military base. Multiple cheap rockets have been used by Pakistan. The army operating and behaving like the Hamas terrorist organization. We'll bring you a report later on the show on
Oh,
how they've
boy.
copy-pasted the Hamas playbook.
This isn't gonna. Oh
You
God.
remember that last month the ISI and Hamas met in Pakistan.
Oh
occupied
no.
Kashmir,
Are they gonna start
and
supporting
we've
these
seen
guys
a lot of
too?
similarities in how they operate since.
Oh no. Oh no, God, no, not again. Free Pakistan. Yeah, get ready. Let's say squat up. Yeah,
During
holy
conflicts,
shit.
there's a lot of focus on social media. Sometimes governments tighten their grip. They may even curb internet access. In Pakistan, it's the opposite, though. For months now, Twitter or X had been shadow banned in Pakistan.
Wait, really?
Most users used a VPN to log on to X. But yesterday, they noticed a difference. X was accessible in Pakistan even without a VPN.
So you could just-
You know why? Because Pakistan wants to amplify its fake news. Yesterday, we debunked some of it, and we've decided to keep it going. Let me show you the first piece of Pakistani fake news. Picture claims to show a destroyed S-400 defense system. In reality, this is a picture from 2023. It shows an explosion in Moscow.
Bro.
Next, we have a video. This one supposedly shows slain Indian soldiers. Again,
Schizo-
totally false. This video dates back to 2011, and it doesn't show slain Indian soldiers. It shows eliminated terrorists.
Oh.
I'll pull out another example for you. This picture is supposed to show a downed Indian drone,
Yeah.
apparently
Right?
somewhere in Gujranwala.
Yeah, this.
Again, completely wrong, false.
Oh.
This is actually from the Russia-Ukraine war. The picture dates back to 2022.
Oh God.
Another video claims to show an attack on the Amritsar airbase. You
So
can
the-
see a massive fire in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
But let me tell you, this is not Amritsar, nor is it an airstrike. This is actually the image of a wildfire in Chile. The same video was shared last year as well. Back then, it was supposedly showing
So they got
Iranian strikes
Pakistan out
on
there
Israel.
writing fan fiction?
So there's a clear pattern here. The same pictures, the same strategy, the same objective. The only difference is the theater. And we've
Oh,
got more examples
jeez.
for you. A video that shows soldiers waving a white flag. Pakistani accounts say these are Indian soldiers
Right,
waving
right.
white flags.
The Indians are
The flag of
surrendering.
surrender.
Yeah. Why would the
In
Indians
fact, it's the
surrender?
opposite. This video is from 2019. It shows Pakistani soldiers waving the white flag. Why? To recover bodies of their slain soldiers. I'll show you two more videos, both posted by the same account on X.
Bro, this
The first
woman
one
is a
appears to show
legend.
the aftermath of an attack.
Oh
you can
my
see fires
God.
raging in between. You can also see some soldiers on the
She's
ground. The
cooking them?
caption
Yes.
says, "Scenes of India's destruction."
This is
Except
crazy.
Indian soldiers don't use this uniform
Scenes of
anymore.
Indians' destruction.
It is either old or it's fake. And here's the final video.
Oh.
It claims to show an Indian drone being shot down over Lahore. We
Right.
searched this image on social media. It is at least 8 days old, and it doesn't show Indian drones or Lahore. This attack happened in Ukraine. These are just some of the examples on social media. Right now, it's a flood of misinformation. Some videos may be posted out of ignorance. Others may have a nefarious agenda. Whatever the reason, it is extremely
If they
dangerous. Such
unblocked
videos
X,
can spread panic. They can demoralize the armed
absolutely are
forces, and
trying
they
to
can
spread
also trigger
misinformation.
miscalculations.
Of
So how
course
do we
they
stop
are.
this? There are 3 things that we can do as a country that we must do. First of all, as
This is
users,
crazy.
we have a responsibility. Do not believe everything you see online. Only rely on trusted sources. And if you're unsure, either fact check it or ignore it. Most importantly,
right.
do not forward it. Secondly, the government needs to vigorously fact check. The Press Information Bureau is doing a fairly good job. If need
Yeah.
be, they should rope in more fact checkers, basically pump more resources into it, at least on a temporary basis.
Yeah.
This needs to be challenged.
Video from
And finally,
Indonesia.
the government's communication is quite important. You see, misinformation spreads when there is a vacuum, when the government is silent.
That's true.
It seems that the government is aware of this. Overnight, social media was abuzz with hundreds of reports and videos. They claimed to show deadly attacks on Indian and Pakistani cities. So today, the government released a statement. Afterwards, they also briefed the media. Unlike yesterday, the Foreign Secretary also took questions today. Again, this is very important because only official information can keep misinformation at bay.
Yeah.
It's a delicate time for media houses too. We know the audience is eager for news and videos. But we can't just give you anything. On First Post, all our reports and images are verified. We source them from trusted news agencies and government departments. And for social media clips, we double-check with our sources.
Even the Taliban are telling them to calm down?
Can betray you. And that's what happened
Wait,
yesterday.
what?
You may remember this video clip of a missile attack. It was widely played across news channels
what?
everywhere. And we got this clip from a reputed foreign
Even
news
they're saying,
agency.
guys,
But later,
calm
the
down.
same agency retracted
Support
it. In fact,
India?
multiple agencies offered this video and then retracted it later. They claimed that the
What?
source of the video was suspect. We have since tried to remove that content from our videos, but it shows you what the challenge is.
Oh, we saw that
Everyone
yesterday.
must be vigilant. If you're not an expert, even more so.
That's me.
Here at First Post, we will always try to do that. We won't just get you the news, we will get you the accurate news.
Holy shit.
So that was
Pakistan's defense minister humiliated on CNN after failing to provide proof on downed Indian jets. Okay, here we go.
Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Mohammad Asif was humiliated in the global media after he failed to provide evidence of his claim that Pakistan shot down 5 Indian jets and a drone in retaliation to India's strike on Pakistan, Kashmir.
You've just brought up the fact that India lost some fighter jets. So let's be quite clear about this.
Uh-oh.
Pakistan claims it shot down 5 Indian Air Force jets and a drone, as I understand it. India
Yeah.
says there's no evidence of that, no proof. So can you provide more detail? Hold on. Can you provide more detail? And is this the response
Right.
that your army spokesman threatened, or is there further action to come? Let's start with this very specific allegation of 5 fighter jets shot down.
So,
Where's the
so they're saying that they shut down 5 Indian fighter jets, and this is the thing that apparently was total bullshit.
Evidence for that, sir?
50 lakhs per annum.
What? 50 lakhs? That's your salary right now?
Yes.
What do you do?
It's all over the social media, on Indian social media, not on our social media. The debris of these jets fell into Indian occupied Kashmir.
So
And
they found it on. So it was on. I mean, if you're the defense minister, I don't understand this. Like, wouldn't you know better than social media? Like,
It's all over Indian media
But
today.
you're the defense
And they have
minister.
admitted their media has.
The reason to talk to you
Their
today, sir,
media-
it's not to talk about
their
content
media-
all over social media. I'm sorry. It's not to talk about content all over social media. I'm asking you very specifically.
oh god,
Online commentators blasted the misstep, with this person
they are relying on social media as a source of information about what their own military is doing. What the fuck is going on?
saying they are relying
no.
on social media as the source of information about what their own military has done. Wow.
Wow.
This commentator agreed, saying a laughing comedy show is going on. Who has made him the defense minister of Pakistan?
That's a good question.
And the situation was made even more bizarre after it was revealed that CNN published an article saying French intelligence confirmed Pakistan downed the French-made Rafale warplane that was being used by the Indian military. However, in another twist, the Times of India are saying the article is fake, despite the world's media
fake.
reporting on the downed craft. The alleged retaliatory strikes...
Well, I mean, can't you just figure out if it's fake instantaneously by looking for news articles that were posted with the same image? Like, I mean, isn't this like instantly easy to find whether it's fake or not? I mean, I don't even understand. How is this even how is this even a conversation? Yeah, you use Google Lens. You could just go and reverse image search. There's a million ways to do this.
By Pakistan came
It's a
after
20-minute investigation tops. It's like 2 minutes. Because, like, people do this all the time.
India struck what they referred to as terrorist locations in Pakistan-held Kashmir yesterday.
So this one, I think, apparently was fake as well.
And the intensification of this conflict is making the world very nervous because both nations have nuclear weapons, says podcaster Patrick Bet-David.
Why don't you tell me the Islamic Kalima? They don't have it. Boom, kill them. Now, why does this matter? Because when you think about the top countries in the world with the most nuclear arsenal, you know where Pakistan and India are? Neck and neck. 1/6 place, which is India with 172. The other is 170. And by the way, do you know how a Pakistani official just responded to Al Jazeera named Faisal Kundi? You know what he said about nuclear weapons? Listen to this. Our nuclear bombs are not meant to be displayed in museums.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
We will use them if attacked by India. All is fair in love and in war. He said this on April 30th. Today's the attack by India. This could escalate like this. And the reason why this has happened, a lot of people are talking about going back to, hey, when you think about, is this like a World War III possibility? Because we can't have those two guys go at it. Or is this more like Cold War, what happened where Russia was communism and they were behind all the Korean War, Vietnam War, all the, even some of the war that was happening with
If the Pakistani army has no association with terrorism, why are they risking war with India over the elimination of a bunch of terrorists? If the Pakistani army has no association with terrorism, then why are Pakistani army generals at funerals for terrorists? I mean, this is an interesting question. But it's not really a question. Everybody knows the answer to this question. It's obvious.
Iran-Contra, they're behind of it? Or is this more like, in this situation, China's behind everything because they're instigating Pakistan? Is U.S. all of a sudden going to get involved with this? Russia's kind of involved because they got a very good relationship with India. 60% of the military equipment that India uses, they bought from Russia, and 40% of the oil that Russia sells, India is the customer. So there's a very interesting dynamic going on here.
CNN reporter Nick Robertson agrees, explaining Pakistan's government are not letting this go.
Yeah, we've government officials today, defense minister, the military officials speaking, and the prime minister. And the prime minister been on TV quite a lot, having a meeting with his National Security Committee, speaking to Parliament. But he gave an address to the nation a couple of hours ago. It was pretty kind of emotive stuff. And it was very clear. This is still headed
If they have no connection to terrorists, they should help India investigate them in the country. Yeah, I mean, it would logically make sense that if you have a terrorist cell in your country, that you would want to, like, because if it's a terrorist cell that is dangerous, then it would logically make sense that the highest level of risk would be the people that are around that cell in your country. Like, they're the ones that are the immediate risk. I mean, maybe that's just me.
The very clear potential for escalation. He said, India has to pay. The blood of our martyrs will be avenged. So basically...
What? Our martyrs? Well, does...
at a time and a place of our choosing.
Do they have like I mean, because usually, I mean, with a lot of these things, like there's like like a group chat or something where they all like put communication together so they don't contradict each other. Like, are they civilians? Are they terrorists? Are they martyrs? Like, who are they? Like, what's going on? Like, I mean, really.
That's pretty much the language the military here are using as well. The defense minister did say today that he wants to avoid an escalation, and although everything seems quiet tonight, and it is at the moment.
Is it possible they don't view these dudes as terrorists? There's no way, right? Well, then they would say that. I mean, they would say that, well, these aren't terrorists, they're freedom fighters, but they're not even acknowledging, like, I mean, maybe that's it, but I don't know.
I think the country is on tenterhooks. There's been increased shelling across the line of control, that de facto border between the Indian and Pakistani bits of Kashmir. India says that 12 civilians have been killed on their side, dozens of others injured. And after the sort of dust settled in the overnight attack, which was just over 24 hours ago now, Pakistani officials say that 31 people were killed, and among them women and children, and dozens of others injured. So everyone now has a clear picture of what happened, and Pakistan's laid out its position, and it does seem to be a question of their move next.
Nick, it seems pretty fucking obvious what's happening, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I could be wrong about this, but it seems like this is very one-dimensional.
One-dimensional. About official live stream. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് ആസ്മൻ ഗോൾഡ് ചെയ്ത സ്ട്രീമുകളിലെ ബിറ്റുകൾ എടുത്ത ആളുണ്ടാക്കിയ വീഡിയോസ്. ഇനിയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഞാൻ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് കാണാറുള്ള അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനലായ ഡെയിലി വയർ. ഡെയിലി വയർ ഞാൻ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് കാണാറുള്ള ഒരു അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനലാണ്. അത് അമേരിക്കയിലെ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ, റിപ്പബ്ലിക്കൻ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യണ ഒരു ചാനലാണ്. അവർ ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് എന്തെങ്കിലും വീഡിയോ ഇട്ടണോ നോക്കാം. അവരിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല, പക്ഷേ അവരിൽ ഓരോ ക്രിയേറ്റേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇവർ കാണുന്ന ക്രിയേറ്റേഴ്സില്ലേ, ഇതൊക്കെ ഡെയിലി വയറിൻ്റെ ക്രിയേറ്റേഴ്സാണ്. അവരിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അവരെ നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. ഹോം പേജിൽ തന്നെ കണ്ടുല്ലോ, എന്താ ഹോം പേജിൽ മൈക്കിൾ നോൾസിനെ കണ്ടുല്ലോ നേരത്തെ. മൈക്കിൾ നോൾസിനെ നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. മൈക്കിൾ നോൾസ് ഡെയിലി വയറിലെ ഒരു ക്രിയേറ്ററാണ്. ആള് ഒരു കാത്തലിക് ക്രിയേറ്ററാണ്. ആളുടെ ഷോ ആണ് ദ മൈക്കിൾ നോൾസ് ഷോ. ആള് ഈ അടുത്ത് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് എന്തൊക്കെ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട് വന്നതാണ്. ഇതാ ഇത് Daily Wire. They are known to be a credible.
Who really
source.
owns the right to song Brown Rum? Honey Singh, Badshah, or someone else?
While everyone was busy guessing who the next pope will be and worrying about deported gangsters and debating the proper use of the N-word, India and Pakistan decided to go to war with each other. Now, countries go to war, especially countries that hate each other as much as India and Pakistan. But the countries that go to war are not usually developing nations armed to the hilt with enough nuclear weapons to kill 125 million people on the spot and plunge the world into nuclear winter. So let's get into it. I'm Michael Knowles. This is The Michael Knowles Show. That's actually the statue of a random black lady. That's now in Times Square. The statue been erected in Times Square. A giant black lady has been erected in Times Square. Not a real lady. It's a giant statue of a random black lady. That's now in Times Square because the creators of it hate America. That's actually the reason, and it's almost in their own words. We'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to tell you, speaking of precious metals and large monuments, I want to tell you about Birch Gold. You have to text Knowles to 989898. The blocking with the gold is right to 9. Any sent drone packing updates 30 seconds before this show starts today. Pakistan says that India sent drones last night and that Pakistan shot down the drones. India is claiming that Islamabad was sending missiles and drones. This after India launched a major military strike on what it calls terrorist targets in Pakistan. That couple weeks after Pakistan launched a major terror attack on India. A lot of it centers around Kashmir, which is a disputed territory that both India and Pakistan claim in full. Is this bluffing? Are they serious when they say nuclear war could break out at any time? How much should we worry? Well, I'll tell you exactly how much we should worry. Both India and Pakistan have about 170 to 180 nuclear warheads each. India's nuclear warheads are about 10 to 40 kilotons. Some of them, a handful of those weapons, can go all the way up to 200 kilotons. Pakistan's are a little less powerful. They have warheads that are about 5 to 40 kilotons. Analysts and war experts estimate that a nuclear exchange between India and Pakistan, not even one that totally depleted their nuclear arsenals, just a nuclear exchange that is entirely possible and maybe probable, could kill an estimated 125 million people in a week. Almost instantly. 125 million people just vaporized. That does not count the fallout. That does not count radiation. That does not count their great-grandchildren getting cancer a century down the road. Just instantly, 125 million people gone. Because India is a really populous country. It's the most populous country on Earth. What that would mean for the rest of the world, famine for millions of people, not just because of the region where the nukes were detonated, but because of the fallout, because of a decline in global temperatures, because of an increase in UV radiation. You'd have major agricultural problems. You would certainly have famine affecting millions of people, maybe affecting billions of people. So that would be bad. What's the good news? Is there any hopeful news? There is, which is that India and China, another one of its neighbors, India and China, were shooting at each other for like 3 years, just about 2 or 3 years ago. People don't even really remember this anymore, but between 2020 and 2022, there were border skirmishes between India and China. India and China, the two most populous nations on Earth, major emerging markets, China especially really trying to become a superpower, but India on the track to be a really powerful country as well. And they were actually just shooting at each other for like 3 years.
എടാ സുഭാഷേ എടാ സുഭാഷേ മോനും ചെറുതായിട്ട് വീണടാ ചെറിയൊരു ചതവുണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു ഒന്ന് കാണിക്കണമല്ലോ
സുഭാഷേ താങ്ക്സ് ഡാ കറക്റ്റ് സമയത്ത് എത്തിച്ചോണ്ടേ വലിയ പ്രശ്നമൊന്നും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല
ആ എടാ സുഭാഷേ ഞാൻ ഒരു 10 മണിയാകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിലേക്ക് എത്തുവേ നീ അവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവില്ലേ
എടാ സുഭാഷേ
സുഭാഷേ സുഭാഷേട്ടാ
എടാ സുഭാഷേ നിനക്കറിയാലോ തിങ്കളാഴ്ചയാണ് അവളുടെ ഡ്യൂ ഡേറ്റ് അപ്പോൾ ഞാനവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല എൻ്റെ കണ്ണ് എന്തായാലും അവിടെ വേണം ജോർജ് ഡോക്ടർ അല്ലേ കാണിക്കുന്നത് ആ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് അയച്ചിട്ടോ ഞാൻ നോക്കാം ഓക്കെ ഈ ദൈവത്തിനും മനുഷ്യർക്കും ഇടയിലുള്ള ആളാണ് ഡോക്ടർ എന്നൊക്കെ പറയാറില്ലേ
That didn't turn into nuclear war. So, maybe we'll be okay. That said, I feel a lot better when fully developed nations that don't historically hate each other for centuries and acutely since partition are the ones that are maybe going to war with each other, because there's a little bit more restraint built in India and Pakistan. The situation seems to be spiraling totally out of control. So anyway, we'll see.
Out of control this is the point of view of America from here. This is the point of view of Trump from here. ഇപ്പോൾ ന്യൂക്ലിയർ ബോംബുകളാവും, ഇപ്പോൾ പൊട്ടിച്ച് കളിക്കും. ഇവരൊക്കെ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ന്യൂസ് ചാനൽ എന്ന രീതിയിൽ അവർക്ക് ഒരു തോന്നണത് അവർ പറയുള്ളൂ. Asmongold is the creator. He reacts to things. As YouTubers and creators, we seek out the truth through YouTube and seek out the truth through YouTube and see reactions, react to the actual news that is true and it's factual.
I guess the question is, will we first get a new pope, or will we first be plunged into nuclear winter? We don't know. We don't know. We don't predict the news. But we do not have a pope yet. There was black smoke that came out of the Sistine Chapel last night. And this morning, I guess we still don't have a pope. In order to pick a pope, a papal candidate needs to attract 89 majority. According to they're under pain, not just of with the Germans, exact same kind of pope all the time, all the way in a row. Ben, not Shapiro, Ben of Ben and Jerry. So still a Jewish Ben, but a different Ben, a left-wing Jewish Ben, not a right-wing Jewish Ben.
Ben Shapiro is the creator. He's a Jewish creator and creator come host of the Ben Shapiro show. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro ഈ കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റിനെ കുറിച്ച് എന്താണ് പറയാമെന്ന് നോക്കാം. ആളിനെ കുറിച്ച് വല്ല വീഡിയോസ് ഇട്ടിട്ടോ നോക്കാം. ആള് പോപ്പിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. Ben Shapiro video ഇട്ടുണ്ട്, നോക്കാം.
Let's play a game. Give me 40 seconds. Trust me, it's going to be fun. So,
the panic that this is going to leap into nuclear war is likely unwarranted. With that said, the reason everybody is worried about this sort of stuff is that a larger nuclear-armed world is incredibly dangerous. In world news that is slightly more important, it appears that India and Pakistan may be on the brink of war. These are both nuclear-armed powers. This should be a reminder, by the way, that a world in which many, many countries are nuclear is a supremely risky world. So, just to illustrate how dangerous the world could become, let's talk for a moment about who has nuclear weapons and who is a nuclear country, meaning they have nuclear energy but not nuclear weapons, because the threshold for developing nuclear weapons is much higher than for just developing civilian nuclear energy. So right now, according to our friends over at Perplexity and sponsors over at Perplexity, there are 9 countries that have nuclear weapons: Russia, the United States, China, France, the UK, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea. Okay, so there are also a bunch of countries that host foreign nuclear weapons. That includes Belgium, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Turkey, and Belarus. Belarus has been hosting Russian nuclear weapons.
Credible ആയിട്ടുള്ള സത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ന്യൂസുകൾ, ഫേക്ക് ന്യൂസ് അവോയ്ഡ് ചെയ്ത് ക്രെഡിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ന്യൂസ് കിട്ടണമെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു AI ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. അതാണ് പെർപ്ലെക്സിറ്റി AI. പെർപ്ലെക്സിറ്റി AI ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ AIൻ്റെ ലൈവിൽ മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു AI ആയിരുന്നു പെർപ്ലെക്സിറ്റി AI. അവർക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടാവുമെന്ന് അറിയില്ല. പെർപ്ലെക്സിറ്റി AIയിൽ മെയിൻലി ന്യൂസ് ആർട്ടിക്കിൾസ് ആണ്
since 2023. Okay, now imagine that all of those countries decided that they were going to develop nuclear weapons of their own. So Turkey right now is hosting nuclear weapons that are essentially U.S. sponsored. But imagine there are a bunch of countries right now that have civilian nuclear programs, but not nuclear weapons, and then they decide to go nuclear. There are a bunch of countries that are planning civilian nuclear energy. More, if you're at each other right now, people across the world would not be watching this conflict. They are watching this conflict because both of these countries are nuclear armed. And people are concerned that if this wider conflict, according to with terrorist groups, retaliate. Now, the United States and China are sort of the powers sponsoring each side. So the United States does have a relationship with Pakistan because supposedly Pakistan helps us with counterterrorism. Let's just say that that support is incredibly intermittent. And the United States also supports India, which is a democratic act. That's Sharif described the strikes as an act of war. Islamabad has now vowed to retaliate. Now, the United States and China are sort of the supposedly, and the United States also supports India, which is a democratic ally of the United States and is an incredibly important country. Supports India, which is a let's just say that that support is with sort of the powers sponsoring each side. So the United States does have a relationship with Pakistan because supposedly Pakistan helps us with counterterrorism.
counterterrorism. ഇത്ര നാള് പാകിസ്ഥാന്റെ ഇത്ര നാളത്തെ പ്രസിഡൻസിൽ ഒരെണ്ണം പോലും ടേം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. 5 കൊല്ലം തികച്ച് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല ഒരെണ്ണം പ്രസിഡൻസിൽ. പാകിസ്ഥാന്റെ ആർമിയിലെ സോൾജേഴ്സ് ഒരുത്തനും ഒരു എഫിഷ്യൻസി ഇല്ല. അവർക്കറിയാം അവർ ആർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാ നിൽക്കണേ. പാകിസ്ഥാന്റെ ഫോറിൻ മിനിസ്റ്റർ, ഡിഫൻസ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ, എല്ലാ മിനിസ്റ്റർമാരും എൻ്റെ പൊന്നു മോനെ 2ാം ക്ലാസ്സിലെ പിള്ളേരുടെ കോട്ട് സൂട്ട് എടുത്ത് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ഇരുത്തിക്കണ മാതിരിയുണ്ട് അവരുടെ ഓരോരോ മിനിസ്റ്റർമാർ. എനിക്കൊന്നും അറിയില്ല. എന്താ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിലുള്ളത് പോലെയാണ് ഞാൻ പറയണത്. ഞാനൊരു ഡിഫൻസ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ പറയേണ്ടത്. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ആസ്മിൻ ഗോൾഡിലെ ലൈവിൽ കണ്ട മാതിരി, ലൈവിലല്ല വീഡിയോയിൽ.
Let's just say that that support is incredibly intermittent. And the United States also supports India, which is a democratic ally of the United States and is an incredibly important country geopolitically, very fast increasing economy, very fast increasing population, a border country again with China. If you wish to build a sort of geopolitical wall against Chinese interventionism, then India is a key part of that. Both sides, China and the United States, are urging weapons down. They're saying that they don't want this escalating any further. They're trying to encourage India to say that they've done enough at this point in response to the terror attack. And China's trying to encourage Pakistan to step down. Again, I don't think this escalates much from here because I don't think that either country has an incentive to drive a vastly larger war in which the end could actually be mutual nuclear destruction. Both India and Pakistan claim all of Kashmir, but the truth is that it's kind of divvied up. The last clash in the region happened in 2019. Something similar happened. A suicide bomber killed 40 Indian paramilitary police officers in Kashmir in 2019, according to the Wall Street Journal. And then the attacker claims that he was a member of an Islamic militant group in Pakistan. Nice people. India then retaliated with airstrikes, and Pakistani forces shot down a warplane, captured an Indian pilot, and then a negotiated release happened. This will probably be something similar. So again, the panic that this is going to leap into nuclear war is likely unwarranted. With that said, the reason everybody is worried about this sort of stuff is that a larger nuclear-armed world is incredibly dangerous because everything gets put on the brink of disaster immediately. It is the reason why, for example, the war in Ukraine has lasted so long. If Russia were not armed with nuclear weapons, then presumably...
I'm Dr. Ashraf, Dean Academic and Professor at Digital University, Kerala. For PhD,
Western support for Ukraine would have been significantly larger and significantly more powerful, and there would have been a possibility of Ukraine literally pushing Russia out of their country. But that couldn't happen because of the possibility that Putin might actually unleash nuclear weapons were he to be pushed out of Donbass and Crimea. And so that war has just sort of continued for years on end. And geopolitics requires some sort of stability. The United States has been the guarantor of stability since World War II. As the United States recedes from the world scene, the world is going to become significantly less stable, and that chaotic and unstable world is going to lead to problems for the United States because the world is extraordinarily interconnected. Our economies are interconnected at this point. This is why you see sort of a drive from the Buchananite wing of the Republican Party to move simultaneously toward foreign policy isolationism and economic autarky. Now, the consequences of that are lower living standards in the United States. Everything is more expensive. Jobs are fewer in number. Autarky in the modern economy is a great way to reduce your footprint and also to reduce your living standards. But as the world becomes more multipolar, as the United States withdraws from its hegemony since World War II, and particularly since the end of the Cold War, the globe is going to get more unstable, not less. Speaking of which, yesterday, President Trump declared that there was a truce with the Houthis. Now, the Houthis, again, is a terrorist group in Yemen. They've been holding up shipping in the Red Sea and firing at a wide variety of ships in the Red Sea, basically destroying that trade route. So everybody now has to go around the Horn of Africa. And the Houthis, that is to pick off boats one by one from since 2015. It's reading it as a predicate for terrorism and ballistic missiles. Please, this is exactly how it's being read. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe.
അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഡെയിലി വയറിലെ മെയിൻ ആൾക്കാരായിട്ടുള്ളവർ. ഓക്കെ, പിന്നെ ചാർലി കർക്ക് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ക്രിയേറ്റർ ഉണ്ട്. ആള് ഡെയിലി വയറിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമല്ല, ആളൊരു ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻറ്റ് ക്രിയേറ്ററാണ്. ആൾക്ക് എന്താ പറയണത്, ആള് സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് ഒരു ഡിബേറ്റ് സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റാണ്. ആളിങ്ങനെ അമേരിക്കയിലെ ഓരോ ക്യാമ്പസുകളിൽ പോയിട്ട് മറ്റേ ഹമാസിൻ്റെ ആൾക്കാരെതിരെ, ആളൊരു ഡിവൗട്ട് പ്രൊട്ടസ്റ്റന്റ് ക്രിസ്ത്യനാണ്. ആള് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഡിബേറ്റ് സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റാണ് ആള്. ഇത് ഒക്കെ നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും 4 ദിവസം മുമ്പ് ഇട്ടിരുന്ന വീഡിയോ ആണ്.
So what do I use AI in the terminal for? JQ queries, manifests, explain concepts you don't understand.
India and Pakistan are on the verge of a war. What does this mean exactly? Well, here's the basics. Pakistan is 100% Muslim. Remember, they sheltered bin Laden and have been a very, very...
ചാർലികർക്കിന് എന്താ ആള് പറയണേന്നും എന്തിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് ആള് പറയണേന്നും റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ആള് പറയുള്ളൂ. ഹീസ് എ വെരി റിലയബിൾ creator and host of the show, the Charlie Kirk show. He has a podcast called The Real American Voice. നല്ല നല്ല ഷോസാണ് ഇവർ. അമേരിക്കയിലെ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു വൺ ഓഫ് ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് ക്രെഡിബിൾ ന്യൂസ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റിയ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയാണത്. റിപ്പബ്ലിക്കൻ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയും റൈറ്റ് വിങ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയും. അവർ ഇപ്പോൾ ഭരണത്തിൽ വന്ന പിന്നെ വിവരം വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് അമേരിക്കക്കാർക്ക് അത്യാവശ്യം വിവരം വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അമേരിക്കക്കാർ ഇത്ര നാൾ ഇടതുപക്ഷം ചാഞ്ഞ് പിടിച്ച് സ്വയം മൂഞ്ചിച്ച് ഇരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പോഴാണ് അവരിത് ശരിയായത്. പക്ഷേ
Sneaky actor. India is mostly Hindu. They don't care for each other much at all. There's a region called the Kashmir that they dispute. There was just a Muslim terrorist attack on tourists there, which Pakistan seems to be linked to, so India is furious. There were air and missile strikes on 9 different sites in Pakistan, killing a few dozen people. Reportedly, some airplanes have been lost on both sides. These are big countries. They have more than 1.7 billion people between them and lots of people. That said, very simple. This is not our war. Maybe we slightly favor India because they're retaliating to Islamic terror. That should go no. No further than moral support. That is it. This is not our conflict to get involved in. I do not believe this will escalate in any way, shape, or form to nuclear power.
ഇതൊരു മിസൈല് വിട്ടതുമായിട്ടാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണുന്നത്. സത്യം പറ, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ ഒരു വീഡിയോ കാണും മിസൈല് വിട്ടതായിട്ടാണോ കാണുക? ഒരു മിസൈല് ചെന്ന് ഉള്ളൊരു ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ബോംബ് പൊട്ടണ ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കില്ല. മിസൈല് എന്നാൽ ഒരു മിസൈലിൽ ആ ട്രയൽ പാത്ത് ഉണ്ടാവും. ട്രയൽ പാത്ത് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇൻ്റർസെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ അവർ ഇവരുടെ ഒന്നുമില്ല. ഇവർ ഇത്ര വലിയ മിസൈൽ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വിട്ടിട്ട് അവരുടെ ഇൻ്റർസെപ്റ്റർ ഒന്നുമില്ല. അവരുടെ ഒരു ഇന്റർസെപ്റ്റർ ഉണ്ട്, ചൈന കൊടുത്തത്. നമ്മുടെ ഇവിടുത്തെ ചൈനീസ് വടക്കാണ് ചൈന കൊടുത്ത ഇന്റർസെപ്റ്റർ. പിന്നെ പോണ ഒരു സാധനം.
And look, we hope for negotiations, but this is a great test of whether or not every conflict is America's problem. And both are nuclear powers, by the way, and most people don't know that. Both Pakistan and India have nuclear weapons, which actually then will decrease the likelihood of either side using nuclear weapons, is the fact that both sides have mad, mutually assured destruction. Trump said yesterday that India is willing to drop all of its tariffs, by the way, on trade with the United States, which is good for icing out China because India very well could become the new China. What you're seeing there is demonstrations on the Kashmir border. I think they think these are kind of like two birds peacocking at each other, but instead of two birds, it's like Pakistanis and Indians peacocking at each other. Very strange, but again, more power to them. They can do whatever they want. And so this is them at the border. They kind of are taunting each other. You actually can go see this live. They have tickets where you can go to the Kashmir border.
ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു പരിപാടി നടക്കേണ്ടതിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും അറിയോ? ഇതൊന്നും നമ്മുടെ ന്യൂസ് ചാനലിൽ പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അധികം ആരുടെയും ന്യൂസ് ചാനലിൽ പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. നമ്മുടെ മലയാളി ഇന്ത്യൻ ന്യൂസ് ചാനലുകളിൽ അധികം ഒന്നും പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ഇതവിടെ ആ കാശ്മീരും ഡൽഹിയിൽ ഹരിയാനയിലുള്ള റീജിയനിൽ, അപ്പുറത്ത് കാശ്മീരിലേക്കുള്ള റീജിയനിൽ, കാശ്മീരും പാകിസ്ഥാനിലുള്ള ബോർഡറിലാണ്. ഇതിൻ്റെ ആ പീക്കോ ഡാൻസ് ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചു തരാം. ഓ പോടാടുന്ന് ആര് പറയണേ? കണ്ട ആ മോക്കിംഗ് ആണത്. അതൊരു ആക്ടിങ് ആണെങ്കിലും, ആക്ടിങ് അല്ല, ഒരു റോൾ പ്ലേ ആണെങ്കിലും മോക്കിംഗ് ആണത്.
I hope they don't. A lot of innocent people die in war. War is terrible. The only role that we should have is to help negotiations and have moral support. We should not supply armaments. I'm sure Lindsey Graham and John Bolton are already on a plane somewhere to New Delhi, try to figure out how we can annex Pakistan or try to give F-35s. No, enough of that. This is not our fight. This is not our region. We hope for a ceasefire. We hope that this does not result in more unnecessary deaths. Ro Khanna was already suggesting that we get involved. These neocons know no limit to our own borders. There's a lot of talk about what's happening in Israel right now. Hostages being released, terrorists resurfacing, Gaza plans, and so on. But there's one thing we tend to overlook: the people of Israel. The war has taken a huge physical and emotional toll on the Jewish people. And that's why I want you to know about the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. And I want you to support the
International Fellowship of Christians and Jews ഒരു ഓർഗനൈസേഷനാണ്. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ട്രംപ് ഇടപെട്ട് ഗാസയിലെ പരിപാടികളൊക്കെ നിർത്തിയില്ല. ഒരു സമാധാനമായി, പാലസ്തീനുകാർക്കൊരു സമാധാനമായി. അപ്പോൾ പാലസ്തീനിലെ ആൾക്കാർക്കും ആസ് വെൽ ആസ് ഗാസയിലെ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ആസ് വെൽ ആസ് ഇസ്രായേൽ ഞാൻ രണ്ടുപേരെയും സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യാനാണ്. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ദൈവം ജനിച്ച നാട്ടിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ പണ്ട് കാലം മുതൽ തുടങ്ങിയ യുദ്ധമാണിത്. ഇപ്പോഴാണ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു തീരുമാനം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റിയത്. അതിപ്പോൾ
important work they do. IFCJ is on the ground throughout Israel, providing food and life-saving aid to the sick and elderly, even released hostages and their families. Join with me and visit ifcj.org/
ആർക്കെങ്കിലും സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ ഫെലോഷിപ്പ് ഓഫ് ക്രിസ്ത്യൻസ് ആൻഡ് ജൂസിൻ്റെ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൻ്റെ ID ആണത്. ഇതിൽ പോയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് സ്പോൺസർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് സ്പോൺസർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. നമ്മുടെ പാവം ജ്യൂസ് കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റിൽ കുറേ പോസ്റ്റ് ട്രോമാറ്റിക് PTSD ഒക്കെ പറ്റിയ ജ്യൂസുകളുണ്ടാവും. അവർക്ക് വല്ല കാശ് സഹായം കൊടുക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ സൈറ്റിൽ പോവുക.
Learn more. You know what we should get involved in? The cartels. That way we should very much get involved in the cartels. We should get involved against the Chinese Communist Party, not militarily, but by every other means. Again, I'm just looking at this high-stepping stuff. They're still in the 1100s. If this escalates, they'll also pressure us to take refugees. Nope. Not going to happen.
ആർക്ക് വേണം റെഫ്യൂജീസ്? ഞങ്ങളുടെ നാട് വിട്ട് ഓടിപ്പോകാനൊന്നും പോണില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ നിൽക്കും, ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. പാകിസ്ഥാൻകാർ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഓടി വരും നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്തേക്ക്. ഞങ്ങൾ നിൽക്കും, ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. പാകിസ്ഥാനികൾ ഓടി വരും നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്തേക്ക്. അവർ നിങ്ങളെന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ചെയ്തോ.
Stuff we should get more involved in. Yesterday, in a lesser-covered news story, we seized 3 million fentanyl pills from the Sinaloa drug cartel yesterday. The largest such seizure in American history. Enough to kill 200 million Americans. That's what we should get involved in. The full force of the government should be in protecting our own citizens. If India and Pakistan want to tragically high-step their way into a war, they have the agency to do that. I hope they don't. I pray they don't. We should try to negotiate peace and for a settlement. But that's it. No more than that. That's what America First looks like. We defend our citizens. They want to high-step their way into it. That's their prerogative.
Are you ready to create?
ഹൈസ്റ്റെപ്പും ചെയ്യും. വേണ്ടി വന്ന മുണ്ടെടുക്കാനും ആവശ്യം വന്ന മുണ്ട് മടക്കി കുത്താനും അറിയാം ഞങ്ങൾക്ക്. പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള ഒരു ക്രെഡിബിൾ ക്രിയേറ്ററാണ് ബെനി ജോൺസൺ. ബെനി ജോൺസൺ ദ ബെനി ജോൺസൺ ഷോൻ്റെ ഹോസ്റ്റാണ്. ഹോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ ബെനി ജോൺസൺ ഷോ. ആള് ഒരു ക്രിയേറ്ററാണ്. ആൾക്ക് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊരു വീഡിയോ ഇട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. പാകിസ്ഥാനെ കുറിച്ച് ആള് വീഡിയോ ഇട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? നോക്കട്ടെ, കാണാനുണ്ടോ? ആർക്കെങ്കിലും കാണാനുണ്ടോ? കാത്തി ഗ്രിഫിൻ ലൈവ് ഇട്ടുണ്ടാവും ചിലപ്പോൾ. ലൈവ് ഇട്ടിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ആള് ഷോർട്സ് ആണ് ഇടാം ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ.
Instant karma for...
Do guys really care about a girl's number?
Yeah. Hashtag David Show. Let's go. I just stumbled across something shocking. Dave Chappelle on The Chappelle Show playing the president was actually just playing Donald Trump 20 years earlier. I can prove it. Watch.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure, bitch. I got the head of the CIA right here. He'll tell you. Serena Williams is a legend, not only because she...
Trump is a brilliant comedian. Outside of his political skill, he's an incredibly funny person. And watching him is very entertaining.
The stupid show, The View, is so bad now that the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, you know what? They really need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back.
And I think often the people that try to lampoon him...
Question for you, good. Yeah. Why are you a conservative, sir?
Well, I used to be a Democrat. This is massive and changes everything. Trump's 5 greatest reporter shutdowns, starting with this from yesterday.
Who you with? That's right.
This is massive and changes everything. The feds have just admitted to covering up Jeffrey Epstein's darkest crimes, and it's going to get a whole lot worse. Epstein was most likely working for the feds. The FBI said that he belongs to Intel. The CIA held...
Question for you, good. Yeah. Why are you a conservative, sir?
Well, I used to be a Democrat, but unfortunately, the Democrats went too far to the left, and the Republicans moved into their position that the Democrats were 40 years ago. And so I realized that I had to go to a Republican because the Democrats just got too far off the trail. They just got completely off the trail.
Trump is a...
Serena Williams. I just stumbled across something shocking. Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show playing the president was actually just playing Donald Trump 20 years earlier. I can prove it. Watch.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure, bitch. I got the head of the CIA right here. He'll tell you.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President.
People who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil.
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil you cooking?
It's called drill, baby, drill.
That means you need to shut the up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would up. Shut the
But he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please.
Damn, I know I shouldn't have called on this nigga. I shouldn't have called on you because you always trying to distract Fine, I'll answer your stupid ass question. Stop worrying about that. I got that under control.
You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. And Pat Bet David Show. Let's go.
Do guys really care about a girl's number?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pin it on you, but I'm saying in general, from your friends, from what you heard, what is like a number that people usually...
Oh, I don't know. I think it's different for everybody, but...
Okay.
Instant karma for porch pirates here.
Yeah, that's done. You're done.
Everyone is talking about this.
Did you know, in India, lawyers can earn more than IIT graduates?
Yeah, Crash Out. It's Asmongold's fault I got detained. What is this? So is Hassan blaming me that he got detained at the airport? Yeah, guys, I made the call.
And I was shocked. Were unironically brought up in that conversation. The Houthi. Like, did you...
That's right. Yes, that's right. Saying that you support a designated terrorist organization got you extra questioning whenever you were re-entering the country.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
See, I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay, there it is.
If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking?
Okay, well, there it is. Wow. Can you believe the levels of... oppression that we have today.
Fucking gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking like, these dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fire. And I even thought...
Really? Playing with fire? Okay.
Thought about not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any...
Okay, so that's the first lie here. Does anybody actually believe that he actually thought of not mentioning this?
He actually instantly tweeted about it, and since then reposted it dozens of times.
The reality of the matter is, 100% the Trump administration is working with a lot of these fucking dipshits.
That's right. I made the call yesterday when Hassan wasn't in the country. He was in France or whatever. And I was like, Donald, all right, we've got our chance. He's going to be coming back in a day or so. So just, yeah.
Dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law.
Yes! That's the point. We don't want people supporting terrorism, promoting terrorism on the platform. That's the whole point. Yes.
That is literally the case.
And also, by the way, keep in mind, nothing happened to him. He didn't get fined. He was allowed re-entry into the country. He was inconvenienced for a period of time. And yeah, that's what happens. When you say that you support the actions of a terrorist organization and then you play their propaganda, you end up getting detained for extra questioning, re-entering the country, making sure that we're not letting people
London, the capital of Pakistan, and currently there is a war going on between Pakistan and India. Now, a lot of people are unaware of exactly what's going on in the world, so we are here.
ഇത് ഒരു അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനല് അല്ല. ദിസ് ഇസ് ട്വിച്ച് സ്ട്രീമർ. ട്വിച്ച് സ്ട്രീമർ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ദിസ് ഇസ് എ കാറ്റഗറി ഓഫ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ്. യൂട്യൂബ് സ്ട്രീമിങ്ങിൽ പെടുന്നതല്ല. ട്വിച്ച് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ട്വിച്ച് ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമാണ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ്, ഗെയിം സ്ട്രീമിംഗ്. അത് വേറെ ലെവൽ ഗെയിം സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ആണ്. യൂട്യൂബ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാ തര രീതിയിലുള്ള സ്ട്രീമിങ്ങുകളും ഉണ്ടാവും, എല്ലാ കാറ്റഗറീസും ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ ട്വിച്ച് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ വേറൊരു തരം ലോകമാണത്. അതിലെ ഒരു കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ പെടുന്ന ആൾക്കാരാണ് VTubers. വെർച്വൽ ട്യൂബേഴ്സാണ് VTubers. ആരുടെ സ്വയം മുഖം ഉപയോഗിക്കില്ല, ഫേസ് ക്യാമൊന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. അവർക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഒരു മോഡൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കും. വിർച്വൽ AI മോഡലൊന്നല്ല, AI ഒന്നല്ല, അത് സ്വന്തമായിട്ട് പണിയുണ്ടാക്കി ഒരു കുറച്ച് പരിപാടി ഇട്ടിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഒരു മോഡലാണ്.
Here to teach everyone about society as a whole. So, in the capital of Pakistan, they are currently arresting people for Islamophobia. If you are Islamophobic, they will arrest you in the capital of Pakistan. Okay, chat just told me this is the capital of England. Really? I just looked it up on ChatGPT and it said that this is the most densely populated Pakistani city. Oh shit. Anyway, there's a war going on between India and Pakistan right now going on. So what I am trying to say is essentially, what happened was, from my perspective, there was a terrorist attack that took place in India, perpetrated by people from Pakistan. India retaliated by bombing Pakistan, and now people are shooting down each other's fighter jets. People are at war. There's flames. There's battles. And we're gonna get all the lore for this conflict because apparently the Pakistani defense minister got absolutely cooked on the mainstream media. So we are unironically going to be watching that man humiliate himself. Now, I do have to say this is chemical warfare. Because smelly people are fighting. That was a racist joke. I did it on purpose so that the racists in my audience could leave a like and subscribe. I know who I'm pandering to. And so now, finding out now was recommended to me that they made this video. I do know a little bit about the history of India and Pakistan and in regards to this conflict. But anywho, let's see what this is all about.
In April 2025, a peaceful tourist town in Kashmir.
Oh, it's always Kashmir, isn't it? So apparently the British pulled out in 1947, I think, and they basically broke India into two parts. Now there's India and Pakistan. Kashmir is in the center, and it's being fought over by.
ഇത് കേട്ടില്ലേ? ആ ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാര് പോയപ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ പുകയിലാണ് ഇത്. ആ ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാര് ഡിസ്മാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്ത് പോയപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ അന്ന് ഈ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മളെ സഹായിച്ചത് മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധിയും പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ചന്ദ്രബോസ് സാറുമാണ്. മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധി പീസ്ഫുൾ മാനറിലാണെങ്കിലും സുഭാഷ് ചന്ദ്രബോസ് ആണ് ശരിക്കും നമുക്ക് ഫ്രീഡം വാങ്ങിച്ചു തന്നത്. മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധി അന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ആള് പീസിൻ്റെ രീതിയിലാണല്ലോ. ആൾക്കെല്ലാവരും സമാധാനത്തിൽ ജീവിക്കണം. സമാധാനത്തിൽ ആളുടെ ആഗ്രഹം ശരിക്കും പാകിസ്ഥാനുകാരും ഇന്ത്യക്കാരും ഒറ്റക്കെട്ടായിട്ട് ഒറ്റ കൺട്രി ആയിട്ട് ജീവിക്കണം എന്നായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അത് പറ്റിയില്ല. അതൊരു ഇതില്ല. ഈ മുസ്ലിംസും ഹിന്ദുസും തമ്മിലൊരു കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ഈ ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാർ അന്നൊരു ചെറിയ വിത്ത് പാകി പോയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതങ്ങോട്ട് വിത്ത് മുളച്ചു. വിത്തെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല, അണക്ക് പറയാൻ ഒരു കനൽ കെടാതെ പോയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ കനൽ അങ്ങോട്ട് കത്തി കയറി. ആ കനലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ കത്തി കയറി ഇപ്പോൾ ഇൻഡോ പാക്കിൻ്റെ കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കിടക്കുന്നത്. ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാർ നമ്മൾ ഇട്ടിട്ട് പോയ രീതിയിലാണ് ഇപ്പം ഈ നടക്കണത്. ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാർ അന്ന് നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഇടയിൽ ഒരു കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് ചെറുതുണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് പോയി. അതിലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ അനുഭവിക്കുന്നത്. ആ മ്യൂട്ടായി തോന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ കോപ്പിറൈറ്റ് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ വാല്യൂ എൻ്റർടൈൻമെൻറ്റ് ഇതാണ്. മ്യൂട്ടായിട്ടില്ല, എൻ്റെ ഇയർഫോൺസിന് ചാർജ് കഴിഞ്ഞതാണ്. എന്നാലും ഞാൻ തരാം. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ബിക്കോസ് ഐ ഹാവ് എ ഹെഡ്സെറ്റ് ഇഷ്യൂ. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ആസ്മിൻ ഗോൾഡ് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്തിരുന്ന ഒരു വീഡിയോ ആയിരുന്നു. ആ അപ്പോൾ യെസ്, ആ സെയും ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഇന്നത്തെ സ്ട്രീം 5:54 ഇത് കണ്ടിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നിർത്താം. ഫുൾ ഹിസ്റ്ററി ആൾ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. About that is Value Entertainment, and he's a creator known as Patrick Bet David. Okay, these are the main American sources that I get my news from in American news, in the case of American news. So these are their views on the Indo-Pak conflict, and as of today, earlier today, the conflict has been ended. If Pakistan moves ahead with this, there can be a nuclear war at the brink. I am stopping this live, praying to God. ദൈവമേ രക്ഷിക്കുക, ഈശോയെ ഷായിക്ക് സ്തുതിയായിരിക്കട്ടെ. പിതാവിനും വിശ്വാസ ദൈവമേ രക്ഷിക്കുക. അത്ര തന്നെ പറയാനുള്ളൂ, അത്ര തന്നെ. അപ്പോൾ I'm ending this stream. Thank you if you are interacted with the stream. Thank you. Thank you for interacting with my stream. So far our stream had a duration of 3 5:31 തുടങ്ങിയത് സ്ട്രീമാണ് നമ്മൾ. 5:51 ഏകദേശം 2 മണിക്കൂർ ആവാറായി. അപ്പോൾ പബ്ലിക്കായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു സ്ട്രീമായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ ആദ്യം സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സ് ഓൺലി സ്ട്രീം ആകാനാണ് വിചാരിച്ചിരുന്നത്, പിന്നെ അത് വിട്ടു. എൻ്റെ സ്ട്രീം എല്ലാവർക്കും വേണ്ടതാണ്. ഇനി കാറ്റഗറി പിടിച്ചപ്പോൾ യുഎസുകളുടെ ന്യൂസ് അവർ അലൗ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് യുഎസുകളുടെ ന്യൂസ് കേൾക്കാം. ഞാൻ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് കേൾക്കണത് യുഎസുകളുടെ ന്യൂസാണ് യൂട്യൂബിൽ. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് US views on our the current conflict. So thanks for ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ സ്ട്രീം ഇങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു. കാണാനല്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ക്യാപ്ചർ കാണാം. ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ സ്ട്രീം ഇത്രയായിരുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ സ്ട്രീം എത്ര ആൾക്കാർ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്? 3 പേര് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. കുഴപ്പമില്ല, 3 ആയാലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല. പിന്നെ കണ്ടായാലും മതി. ഇത്ര വലിയ സ്ട്രീം ആയിരിക്കില്ല. ഈ സ്ട്രീമിൽ ഷോർട്ടൊന്നും ഇടാൻ പറ്റരുത് കേട്ടോ. ഇതൊരു ജസ്റ്റ് ന്യൂസ് ആൻഡ് പൊളിറ്റിക്സ് എന്ന കാറ്റഗറിയിൽ ഉള്ളൊരു സ്ട്രീമാണ്. 3 പേര് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. 18.53 ആവറേജ് ഡ്യൂറേഷൻ ഓഫ് വ്യൂ. സ്ട്രീം ഹെൽത്ത് ഗുഡാണ്, നോക്കണ്ട. അപ്പോൾ താങ്ക്സ് ഫോർ ഓൾ വാച്ചിങ് ദ സ്ട്രീം. AJ Gaming signing out.